Tonight, on Pints and Pistons, Brian smiles at the camera, I smile and laugh while knowing that these three are wrong. Dan yells loudly, and Mike is just drunk. Yeah. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in forever, all four of us are together again!
Yay!
Now let the
Alright, so
begin.
that was the show, guys. Have a good night.
See you later.
I hope everyone is doing well on this fantastic Friday evening. It's nice and hot and sticky here in old Florida.
Yeah,
It's typical Florida. It is full. It's full Florida.
It is.
weather.
It's full Florida force.
It's what,
full-blown Florida.
3 or 4 days into spring, and we're already hitting the 90s.
Yes.
Yep.
For real.
It was crispy today.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Even my ass was driving with the windows up and AC running.
Oh fuck yeah. Yeah, it sucked. It sucked. But hey, the next day or two we're supposed to go back down to the 80s, so.
yay!
Yeah. We're about to hit the frigid temperatures again. We'll
Yep.
be back to 81.
Oh, it's gonna be cold out.
I know. I
Yeah.
might need to break out my members only jacket.
I
again.
might have to wear a jacket as well. But anyway, guys, hello everyone. I hope everyone is having a great Friday night.
Yes.
If you guys are new here, we're Pints and Pistons.
And we're back together.
And we're all back.
Finally.
100% full-blown Pints and Pistons. I love
the
it.
band back together.
It's been like
Yeah,
this
not a
for
man from
like
God.
4 months.
Don't you blaspheme. Don't you blaspheme in here. Best movie ever.
Oh yeah. Best car movie ever.
We're very happy to all be back together.
I'm
and,
actually going to throw down and say it's not a car movie.
Ooh.
We already did just throw down.
Shit.
Go back to our previous
It's a
episodes.
musical.
It's a musical. Just happens to have cars in it. It's like Bullet. Bullet is not a car movie.
Oh, no.
Bullet is a shitty detective movie that
Yeah,
happens to have a car
but the
chase.
thing is with the Blues Brothers is more than 80% of the movie involves the cars.
But aside from
That's
car
like saying
movies,
Supernatural is a car show.
fair enough, because the Impala.
Because they're always driving around in the Impala, but it's not about the Impala, except for that one episode.
Well, I think in this like a side tangent of this, can we all agree that Die Hard's a Christmas movie?
Yes,
Good.
oh, everybody
All right,
knows
just making
that.
sure. All right.
Look, it is not officially Christmas until Hans Gruber falls to his death.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're all there. We're all
We
there.
need
all
clarification on that.
Okay, in this instance, we are all parking our cars in the same garage for this one.
Yes.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I guess without further ado, should we crack into this Wonderland and then start
Yes.
talking about car stuff?
Yes,
Yeah.
because I found this one as I was running through the store yelling, I don't know what I'm doing right now!
And I'm very intrigued because I like Sierra Nevada
but-
quite a bit.
And I saw that.
Yeah, but that happens to you a lot.
Yeah, oh yeah. I saw it, and I actually thought it was an IPA until I read that it was an ale.
Woo! 7.5 though.
Yeah, this is our light one for tonight.
Set out and see where the adventure leads. Roam until your paradise appears, like this juicy golden sunset of a brew. Listen here, we know you drive a bike.
Hey, wait a minute.
Take it all in with an aroma of just picked fruit, bold hop flavor, and a bright burst of nectarine. Enjoy the ride.
It actually smells decent.
Also, I just noticed this. It's hard. You guys won't be able to see this, but Brian, you'll be able to see this. Because of the way we're staggered at the table, I look ginormous.
You do.
Me and Dan look huge.
Yeah, you do.
Like, we look like monsters compared to you two.
Yeah, you do. I'm
Well, I
also
mean,
blocked by the
most
computer.
everybody does compared to Mike, but...
Perfect timing, too.
Whoa, I can smell this one even with the COVID nose.
Dude, it smells fucking good.
I can't like tell you what the smell is, but I can smell something.
It's
Something
stuff.
fruity.
Alright, bottoms up.
It
Bottoms
smells
up,
really
kiddo.
good. Oh, wow.
I like it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I could live with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm tasting, but I know it's something good. Something like kind of fruity on the back end. That's
it
all I'm
doesn't.
getting.
It's not dry.
No, and it doesn't taste as potent as it is.
Can one of y'all tell me what that flavor is? I can't quite. It's
Tangerine.
like is
Well,
it tangerine?
Nectarine.
It almost tastes like berry-ish. I know my
Yeah, it's
shit's all,
nectarine.
mine's all. I'm all messed up still, but
So you get a tangerine and you bite its neck, and it's a nectarine.
It's
I got
it's
nothing.
an underripe nectarine, but it's nectarine.
Yeah.
Smooth too, with no bite.
Yeah. No bite.
Second pull's even better.
Because it doesn't classify. This is Nectarine Ale. I know Sierra Nevada is very popular for pale ales. It doesn't taste like a pale ale. It doesn't bite at all. It's just really smooth and crisp with that flavor right on the end.
Yeah, but
That's pretty yummy.
But it doesn't like dry the back of your throat out.
No.
It doesn't. And
It's
not,
got a dry flavor, but it doesn't dry your mouth
and
out.
definitely
Yes,
not like a
yes.
borderline 8% beer too.
No.
Good job, Sierra Nevada.
This
Yeah.
is-
And I love the art. I always love their art
Oh,
they
yeah.
do on their bottles.
Sabrina said that it looked like a giant butt cresting the mountains with a little turd popping out of it.
It does look like a couple ass cheeks.
With a little turd popping out of it.
Yep.
That's all I'm gonna have with that one.
Like, no, it's actually really fucking cool looking.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. That's a buy a 12-pack.
I'm actually kind of regretting that I'm recovering from surgery right now because that is.
You
one
want to
that-
drink the whole thing, don't you?
That's one that I would have a whole pint of that.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that was well done, guys.
Good job.
Yeah.
It only came in a 12-pack, so it was $17 for the 12-pack of it.
It's
But
not bad,
when
really.
you think about the 12-pack
For
price,
specialty 12 packs
Yes.
too, yeah.
I mean, hell,
Oh.
we've had 6-packs for more than that.
Yes.
Yeah. 4 packs even.
yeah,
By the way, guys, May was 2nd, right? May 2nd? Is that the day for our next event?
yeah. That's what I'm trying to pull up that
No,
Sunday.
you're fine. I've been so everywhere with everything.
No, I don't remember dates. Yes, exactly.
Guys, May the 2nd is going to be our next event with Wrench Monkeys Automotive. Make sure if you guys are local, even if you're not, because we have some people come out from quite a bit of a distance, come out and hang out with us.
Cars, like,
Cars,
wide,
burnouts,
wide
food,
range of fucking
prizes.
cars. You will literally...
It's the only place that I saw a 50s Nash parked next to an R32 GTS-T
With an Alfa Romeo
with-
4C.
with a 4C parked in front.
Yeah.
and a Studebaker Lark.
And the Lark.
across from it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Four-door Lark
And just-
with
and-
a straight 6 and a 3 on the tree
and-
parked across
yep.
from that and a Lambo.
Excellent mix of cars, excellent
And
time.
mini trucks.
We're all a great
Yeah,
group of
mini
people.
trucks, low car limbo.
It was
and
a-
it was funny because, yeah, even Alpha 4C guy was first in line for low car limbo.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That
It was
dude
a
was
great,
rad.
great time. So if
Mhm.
you guys do get the chance to come out, it seriously is probably. I have more fun at our events, and I'm not being biased because it's our events, but like, I'd rather go to our events than go to IFO or like
Yeah.
Gator Nationals or Tuner Culture Meet or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
No, Wayne and Allie have it set up perfectly. It's everything that you always wanted a car show to be, without the car show.
Basically just a bunch of car people hanging out doing
Well,
hood rat
yeah,
shit with their
yeah.
friends.
Like it's not like I mean there
Yeah.
are like trophies in that, but it's not
We blow up motors, break
Yeah.
axles, all kinds of shit.
I mean, when one of our trophies
That's
is
how
the
good
shit,
it was.
when one of our trophies is the shitbox.
really
I mean, we had a trophy that was the shitbox award.
that we literally gave to somebody because there was turds in their goddamn engine.
And my God, like, and the guy with the one from the last one with the purple BMW.
Oh God, I
He
love
was so humbled by
Yeah.
receiving that trophy. I was so happy for him.
Because we were looking at the different, what we kind of consider the shitbox cars. We saw the purple BMW, and I'm like, well, check this cat out. So we went and talked to him, and the dude was just like, he was into his car. It was his project.
He fixed it with the cheapest way possible. Like, still fixed it, but the cheapest way possible with as many hand-me-down parts as he could.
Yeah, definitely like, hey, I've got a problem, and here's how I'm going to solve it.
Yes.
And the dude just genuinely loved his car, and it was that attitude. We're like, hey,
Yes.
this wins it, man. This is,
All right, so I don't know if you've seen it. I think you guys might have, but there was this video. This guy's got like a dash cam on whatever car he's got, and the Harley in front of him is just doing the most ignorant bubbles. And they're at a stoplight. The light goes green, and he literally gets through the turn, and it cuts to the fucking South Park scene. And all of them go,
I think I sent it to you.
the absolute funniest part of that episode was when the dude was in the pisser with the other dude. He looks
Yeah.
over at the guy at the urinal and goes, that was dead.
Yes.
So,
That was one of the best episodes ever.
I mean,
I do
it's,
that in bathrooms.
it's
now.
equivalent to like a 16-year-old with a Honda Civic with no exhaust learning to drive stick. It's bum 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 bum. The move.
That was fourth gear.
Anyway,
Car
God, I
topics?
missed this.
Car
topics?
So apparently there have been so many Dodge Chargers and Dodge Challenger
Yes.
Hellcats being stolen that they now ship to the dealerships, then they're limited to 3 horsepower.
Yep. They are coming out with
It's
the
like a
software
super
update
security
for 2015 to 2021. Well, 2020, all the new ones already are coming with it. To where they just flash the computer to put in the new thing, and it's basically, oh shit,
It's
what
like
was
puts it in what, limp mode or something?
Yeah, but it's like, it has, it's like a double security thing to where you have to have the key fob, but then you also have to put in like a 4-digit code. And when you do, if you don't do that, so like people are getting, like the laser cut keys and all, like these thieves are able to, hack into there and, open up the car and make it think that it has a key fob and all that shit. Well, when it does this, it only basically it keeps it to 675 RPMs is as high as it'll rev, which equals
Basically enough
idle.
for a lot porter to move it around the parking
But
lot.
I was gonna say,
off of idle.
could you imagine that going awry? They're like with a salesman showing a customer. They're like, all right, man, you ready to get behind the wheel of this fucking Hellcat to go for a test drive? About to grow some hair on your balls. They idle out the
Let
parking
'em
lot.
hang.
Get out there. I thought you told me this thing was fast.
I mean,
What's happening?
you told me to let the balls hang.
What's
going
happening?
on?
What's going on?
And then
I don't
it'll be
want
the
this piece
Harley
of shit.
driver just going down the road with its 3 horsepower and 44 pounds-feet of torque just at idle. It's literally like a tugboat going down the road. Like at that point, it would be the tugboat that's been
I love
like
that meme about Harleys, by the way.
Bodie McBoat
Why would
face.
somebody pay $30,000 for 60 horsepower?
And to shake themselves to death.
Actually, they don't.
The new ones.
No, none of them do.
None of them? They just
You know,
look like they do?
you know how they had that rough idle, and they shake idle when you're sitting at a stoplight? The reason for that is because when you're doing 70, it don't
It
shake.
smooths out. Yeah, that's what I've heard about them.
Single pin crankshaft.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Harleys because Leather Daddy cosplay is just not my thing.
Nah, I'm not really into it either. But
My feet
Um,
just don't touch the ground.
I wanted to ask because I knew you guys might know better than I would. But Taylor Ray, is his Miata got a blower or a super?
No, it's NA.
Okay, Ed spotted one in Spring Hill. Looked kind of like Taylor Ray's, but it had a big ass chassis wing on it. And
No, that one has gone down to Cletus and Cars as twin turboed.
it's got a huge hood on it too.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, Taylor Ray's.
I didn't think his
Taylor
did.
Ray's has a stock hood. And basically, it's got no back bumper. It's got bash bars
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
Ed saw it in traffic, and he said when he went out from the light, like the dude was sideways, changing lanes, and then
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, no, that
I was
one's
curious.
like a twin turbo one and all. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and that would be a bit of a drive to come from Orlando over to Spring Hill.
Yeah.
in that thing anyway. He trailers it everywhere to events and stuff like that.
That's I knew he did. And I didn't think it was him. I had a feeling it was somebody else, but it looked like a fucking unit. So.
Yeah, no, I know which one you're talking about. I've seen it. I've seen it on some of the. It wasn't this last one. It was, this last Cletus and Cars down
Brain.
at.
Oh, and did you see the Drift Night thing? My buddy was in that actually. He's got a 240 SX with a S15 front end with a.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think it's got a 2J or a 1J in it.
The green one?
No, it's black and it's crazy blue wrap.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I saw
Yeah,
it.
that's one of my friends. Me and him have bought and sold RX-7 parts and Mazda parts for a long time and everything from each other. He had a very, very nice 8.6, very, very nicely done, and he ended up getting that 240 he's got. And he said he was going to try and get out there with it and everything.
So was it an actual 8.6 or was it really?
No, it was.
8.5?
No, it was. It was JDM and everything. ITV too and all that.
That was a right-hand drive one?
Yes, sir. Amazingly
Because
beautiful.
we actually did get 8.6s in the U.S.
Yeah, this
Most
was
of the ones you see are actually 8.5s.
right. This one was a JDM. It was beautiful. But now he's got that, and I thought that was cool. He posted on Facebook. He's like, I can't believe it. He posted the email. He's like, I can't believe I'm going to do Drift Night at the Freedom Factory. It's
Right.
awesome. And that was a really, really good turnout that Cletus had too.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. I don't know if I said it in person or if I texted it, but we got a new key cut machine at work, and I was like joking around with the guy who set it up and everything because our key cut machine is the model Gymkhana 994.
Yeah, you told us about
Yeah, and then the guy was like, "Oh, you guys car guys," and he goes, "Oh, Garrett." Cletus. I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh yeah, I've known him since he was a kid. I'm friends with his dad. Love it. I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome. Small world, right?
I'm just amazed at the amount of success that Cletus has achieved from basically putting duck whistles on the back of the C7.
Yeah.
And then even looking at Leroy itself, we saw it at the half mile event like 3 or 4 years ago when he did the thing with Super Speeder Rob.
And that car has evolved so much.
And I mean, you know, the first time and this is actually kind of think this is funny because when we were down there and we were talking with him, I was like, you know, the first thing I thought of when I first saw this car was Roadkill's Death Card. I was like, it'd be cool for you guys to get together and do something. He's like, yeah, they'll probably never do anything with us. And here he is hanging out with Finnegan and had Freiberger at the last 24 hours, 2.4 hours of the mullets.
And kind of relating to that, to 1320, I'm really excited to see a new video coming out by them. A friend of mine, Dave Mazzei, he's got that.
Hi, Mike.
He's got
that crazy 4-rotor.
Yeah, he calls it the Formula 7.
Yes.
He just posted a teaser video on Facebook of him with Kyle doing a pull on the highway.
Huh.
Yeah.
That thing sounds so freaking
I love watching Dave drive it because, I'm not trying to bash Dave or anything, but the sheer fear in him, watching his arm muscles twitch as he's shifting and everything, that car has to be just insane. And
but by the same token, he has no hesitation of putting his right foot down.
Not at all.
Yeah, he's smacking the loud pedal pretty hard.
And that car, I can't remember because I was talking to him about it on Facebook a few months ago, but some kind of, I think over 200,000 or 300,000 total into it. It's just ignorant.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that's
because it's like it's a billet, I think, 4-rotor and everything.
I don't know.
No, it's not billet. It's
I was gonna say I think as far as I know, I think Rob Doms is the only.
Rob's got the only billet. Which Rob teased something too on Facebook recently about another Corvette, possibly.
Well, I know he got the orange C8 that was wrecked here in Florida, and he's doing a 4 or 6-rotor swap on that.
And it was something pertaining to that. And I'm wondering, that's going to be really cool. We're going to have a modern-day Aerobet.
Right.
Like, that's going to be fucking awesome.
Right.
So I'm really curious to see how that goes. But Dave Mazzei, he's just put together, him and the people he's had do everything, just a fantastically built car. It's been road raced.
That thing looks phenomenal. It sounds fucking amazing.
Yes, it does. It is crazy how that car is. And I don't know if you've seen it also recently surfaced too, but have you heard of, a long time ago, a guy built this crazy 6-wheel kind of abomination with a 4-rotor in it?
Yeah, it's at Angel Motorsports has that thing now.
It's resurfaced and Angel has it now. Apparently, it's going to get, like, track prepped, and he's going to race it. I'm really interested to see how this thing does, because of how big it is.
I know,
it's got
huge.
6 fucking wheels on it.
It's ginormous.
It is. I'm really, really intrigued by that, and I want to see where that goes.
Yeah, a lot of these weird kind of YouTube project cars. I mean, even Rob Dom's 4-rotor all-wheel drive, that crazy car.
That's still amazing.
I'm very curious to see how that car evolves and how much more complete it becomes.
And also one that's kind of got shoved to the back burner, but the Canadian guy, Tyler, who's got the twin-engine MX-3. He's got, it's like a 93 or 94 MX-3 with twin KL V6s with turbos. He apparently, he was posting something sourcing another car. Supposedly this year he's doing a Probe, same layout, but twin turbo on each engine.
Damn.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I'm very, very intrigued because he was pulling very impressive numbers, close to the thousands.
That's almost like Roadkill Garage's twin Pala.
I'm interested. It's going to be very, very, very interesting year for cars in general.
Oh, have you seen the thing? I think it's called Legit Street Cars, the guy that's K-swapping a Ferrari 308?
I have. I actually been following that on Facebook and on Instagram as well. And another one I've been following on Instagram, Mercedes V12 FC. Has it mounted and fitted.
Really?
Yes. And like the last I saw, which is about last month, he was getting the rest of the drivetrain sorted out, but the motor itself is fitted and the cross member. And
how much of it's coming through the hood?
Surprisingly not much.
Because I figure, with the V and the length of the 12.
What it's looking like is if he runs just a standard cowl hood, he should be able to fit it. Really? But it's mounted in the car. Not much of it comes over the fender line. So kind of like that Hellcat Miata.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be somewhat like that. And I'm very interested to see how that build's going to go. It's a Mercedes V12 and it's twin turbo, and it's in an RX-7, like an 86, I think.
Another thing that popped up into my feed recently that I've checked out one video on, there's a guy down in Australia that's redoing a Honda S600.
Really?
Really?
What?
Oh,
is he doing something crazy with it?
No,
or-
I guess he's gonna like build it out because he's shown the chassis, he's shown
Yeah.
the engine,
Yep.
he showed the whole crazy differential with axles and trailing arms with chains and all that shit, and he went through the whole car. And then he sat in the car. He was like, "I'm basically sitting on my foot." And he says, "Here's the thing." He's like, "My shoulder is next to the door." He reaches over and touches the door like this. He's like, "So you guys are sitting on your couch." He's like, "Reach your arm over." That's how big this car is. It's tiny.
Oh, and have you seen the?
He says it's basically the size of a K car, but can't be classified as a K car because it doesn't have a back seat.
Do you remember when I first started streaming racing? I was doing those little high-revving Honda cars.
Yeah.
That's what it was, an
Yeah.
S600. They
Yeah.
were so much fun to race
Oh, there's a
because
guy-
they were total inertia cars.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You
oh,
lock-
you just sling them through the corners.
Yeah,
hard
if you
as
hit
you
the
can.
brakes,
they
you're gonna
twist
take
out.
you a lap just to get your speed back up.
11,000 RPM or something like that. So
Uh-huh.
they don't have any torque, but they have revs and horsepower.
Right.
And so because of that, basically he explained it. He's like, there's gear reduction in the transmission, there's gear reduction in the differential, and then there's gear reduction between the drive axles and the chains on the rear wheels. And he says, so it's something like a 472 final drive at the back end of this thing. And he says he says you don't have torque, you just make torque with gearing.
Right.
With gear reduction, man. I was like, he's going over this whole car, and I was like, I never knew what the underside of one of those things looked like.
It's fucking crazy.
Pretty rad.
It's crazy, but it's like you're like, that is complete bonkers, but
Well,
it works.
But here's the thing, it was Soichiro Honda.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the they started out building
Bicycles.
motorized bicycles and
Yeah.
then motorcycles, and
So
they were
he's got the
coming up
chain and
to
all.
it. They were coming up to a time when it looked like the Japanese government was going to be, okay, you make cars and you make motorcycles. I'm the one to get into the car business, so they made this car.
Yeah.
And again, a brilliant engineering exercise.
Perfect. They're beautiful.
So
Ford Mondeo.
Oh, yeah. That's an unfortunate.
That is the
Yeah.
one car that Clarkson, Hammond, and May
all liked.
all loved. Not liked, loved.
Loved.
That's the one car they could all look at each other and
They
go,
all agreed upon it.
yep, it's a good car. Oh.
Well, they also agreed on the one car that they kept dropping pianos on.
The Princess?
Morris
Yeah.
Marina?
Yes.
I thought that was
No,
yeah.
it was the Morris Marina.
Marina,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Morris Marina.
They all agreed that they hated that car.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were okay with dropping pianos on that one.
Yeah, until they got letters written to them from the Morris Marina Restoration Society.
So-
Stop dropping pianos on our cars. They're like, look, it's just sitting there. We're not dropping piano on it.
No, that was
didn't do
whenever
that.
they bought the one that had the piano already dropped on it.
Yes, look, they come like this.
I know what you're thinking. It's a Morris Marina. We're gonna drop a piano on it. Ha ha ha. But see, we've done it differently this time. We've bought one that's already had a piano dropped on it and driving it around with a piano strapped to the roof.
That one and the indestructible Toyota truck
Oh yeah.
was fantastic.
I was just rewatching the final moments of the Grand Tour whenever he announced that they were done.
Yeah, and they were doing just a
Then
special.
they were just gonna do this.
Oh yeah. Oh, I still
God,
cry.
that's
at that
so
one.
hard to
I
watch.
still cry.
It is.
Well, 6 years ago, yesterday was when Clarkson got fired from Top Gear.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was basically at that point when they were interviewing May and Hammond, like literally knocking on their door as they're eating dinner, and there's like, I seriously just heard about this 5 minutes ago from you guys, and now you're at my front door. BBC hasn't even called me. I don't have any comments. If you excuse me, I gotta go put my Ferrari on eBay. And he closes the door on them, and I'm like, ha!
Well, it's like the final episode of Top Gear with them, when it was just the two of them
them.
left, and they just went, and with that,
Yeah,
bid you
bye.
farewell.
Yeah, because it was one
Well,
of those. It
and-
was always the three of them. They were never going to do it with somebody else. If it
Right.
wasn't the
And
three.
then, unfortunately, we lost Sabine recently, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that
God.
was
The woman that could put a transit van around the Nürburgring.
a diesel transit van could go faster around the ring than at that
lap in a van.
than a really nice sporty Jaguar.
And that reminds me, there's another one I saw. This
Hey,
guy
Allie.
over in the
Hey.
UK. Hello. This guy over.
No, her best moment was on kind of the new Top Gear when they had that stupid ginger radio talk show.
Oh,
Sabine
yeah,
made him
yeah,
puke.
yeah.
Sabine made him puke.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
And this guy over in the UK has built this crazy awesome transit van. It's got a Z-Tech Focus motor in it.
Oh, that's guy. What the fuck's his name? The Alaman TT guy.
Yeah.
Fuck, what's his
Guy
name?
Martin.
It makes like 500 something
Yep.
horsepower, and
Yeah,
it
he
just
probably-
looks like
it's
a
fucking
rowdy.
sick.
Oh
It's-
yeah.
Yeah, on one of the
Sick.
record attempts, the thing caught on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he built it in his shed. Yeah, that's Guy Martin. That guy is he's one of the OG, tourist, Alaman tourist trophy guys.
How English/Welsh is that?
Oh, insanely.
Hey, I got this fast car. Oh, where'd you get it? I built it in my shed.
Yeah. Well, it's just like
That's literally.
And that brings me
Like-
to like a couple things really. Like you got the free valve guy we were talking about earlier. He did all that himself.
Gamer Girl and Swole Mates.
That's my sister.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Dad. The guy with the 8
Hi,
turbo
your
Mustang.
sister's hot.
He.
I don't know. I've never seen him before, so I just wanted to see him do that. I just wanted to see him do that.
like
Is that what you mean, Squirrely Dan?
that guy with that Mustang, like that 8 turbo Mustang.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
he did
God,
everything himself.
See, and
in
the
his
only
fucking
thing
garage in Canada. Like,
only thing with that is the fact that it's fucking LS. But
but
it's still fucking cool that he has 8 individual turbos.
Right,
I mean,
there's one turbo per cylinder.
It's fucking awesome.
the thing that was blowing me away was just looking at the oiling system.
Oh yeah, it's
that
fucking
he,
crazy.
that he came up with.
You had to literally be a madman to sit there and go, okay, not only be a madman to put 8 turbos on, like one per
Hey,
cylinder,
Chris.
but you also, hey Chris,
Hi, Chris.
but you
How's it
also
going?
have to sit there and go, okay, not only do I have to have, these 8 turbos here, but I got to get oil to all these turbos.
I gotta make
And-
him work.
I
You
gotta
have to get the oil out of them and back into the sump.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like that, like
And
it's not
watching
just
that
boom, slapping
evolve-
that on. Like you have to do quite a bit other shit. That
You have to do all the stuff you have to do for a turbo
8 times.
8 times.
Yeah, and I know Kyle. I know you're not going to be watching this, but if you are just a fucking genius. And I'm so excited to see that thing hit the
Oh, yeah.
dyno again with
Bye,
the
Dan's
intercooler.
hot sister.
See ya.
I'm so excited to see that thing hit the dyno.
Oh yeah, no, it's
And
well, it
he
already
made-
did hit the dyno.
Yeah, he made $750-ish, and then blew 2 of the turbos, but they were $80 a piece, so that's okay.
Yeah.
What did
And-
the torque curve look like? Because it looks like with the 8 smaller turbos, it would just instantly spike massive torque,
And hold it.
like a
It held it.
like a twin screw car.
It held it throughout. The torque was it was nominal. Everything was perfect. And then they just did that next pull, and it just wasn't on. And
Yeah.
2 of the turbos just they were running 34, I think, PSI through Volkswagen KO3s. Like it's an amazement that all but 2 of them held up, really.
Yeah.
And
Hey, but when they're only $80, that's like that's pretty much, if you're able to do a pass or 2 with that, and you have to replace 1 turbo, that's like a nitrous car doing 1
Right,
pass and then
right.
having to because every time you do a pass, you pretty much
Right.
got to replace your plugs.
Right.
You're probably even cheaper than that. Like, so, hey, I did 3 passes and I had to replace a turbo. Still better than you nitrous guys. Like, it's just, that thing is, yeah, like, I see it and I giggle, like, I still, a bit sad with it, but it's
Just
still
like
one of those, I see it and I giggle, I'm like, you're a fucking bad man, I love it.
Like the video he's got, like driving down his street, like
In the
from
fucking
inside
snow.
of it. Yeah, like just there's nothing there.
I just love the idea of it.
I do too.
And I know how this conversation went. I'm gonna put 8 turbos on my Mustang. Why? Why not?
Well, no, the
Because
whole
I
Good
thing,
point.
Because I couldn't get 9 on there.
the whole thing
okay?
started when he did the Civic, because he did a Civic with
With
4
4
turbos,
yeah.
and then he said, "You know what? Fuck your 8 for 8s. This is my 8 for 8s." And
Yeah.
he I think it was he said like maybe not even $3,000. Now granted, he did all the fabrication and welding and everything.
Yeah.
But still, like $3,000-ish,
700 horsepower.
with
Exactly.
a wild, crazy setup
Yeah.
that everybody said is not going to work.
And it's actually working.
And the
Like-
sound
No,
that
it sounds
engine
fucking
makes,
amazing.
it's fucking crazy.
Like, it literally sounds like a small jet engine trying to take off. Like, it's like
But
you
this
get
does,
like the
but
V8
this does
roar,
kind
but
of
then
lead
you,
to the other end of the spectrum. And so far, right now, the guy that's blowing my mind the craziest is the free valve Miata
Yes.
guy.
Me too. And like when I saw him do the video when he did the Harbor Freight engine, I was like, oh my god, he's done it. And then he goes and says when he's doing the Miata, he's like, I'm gonna have the patents out for everybody to use. I'm like, this guy's our fucking savior.
Because when it comes down to that, is he just took the technology that, I mean, Koenigsegg...
Took how long
I
to
know,
make?
but, like, seriously, awesome for Koenigsegg for being able to do that, because, like...
For coming up with it.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's like, ingenious. Like, I don't know what type of mushrooms, psychedelics, or all of the above that they had to take to fucking come up with that. But then this guy
Yeah, but it's Christian von Koenigsegg. That guy thinks.
I know.
That guy thinks completely different than the rest.
He
of them.
went, why do camshafts have to be circles?
Why do
Why
we?
couldn't they be square?
Why do we need camshafts?
Exactly.
That's
Why do I need 37 G's in my name?
like I said, Christian von Koenigsegg. I mean, that guy.
Pronounced name.
That guy thinks on a level that the rest of us
And,
just
and
don't.
it's one of those to where, but then this guy being able to, just look at
So-
that,
so- and
look at it, and
And
be like,
literally in his shed, go, I can build that.
and,
sort of
and-
reverse engineer the concept and come up with his own and build it.
But
And
it,
work
but it
on
was
it.
awesome. Well, it was awesome that he, first tried it on, the smaller end, because it's one of those, you don't want to instantly go into try it on a smaller end, and it fucking worked. And it's like, I'm gonna try it on a Miata engine, ain't big, but does something a little bit bigger, and god damn it, fucking works.
And the thing
this
is
Runs
too
and
is,
drives, it goes down the road.
and
does
when he
everything
Yeah.
explains it, it's like even if you're not an engineer, you can understand
yes.
it, and everything. It all makes sense. And
I would like to see the patents for that when
and the thing
if he
was-
puts that out. I'd like to see it and just look at them, because there's just so much genius that has to go into that.
Well,
that
the thing is, it wasn't even the
it's-
free valve stuff that originally got him into my brought my attention to him. It was he took a Porsche Boxer and then built a tube frame '60s Formula One
Yeah.
car.
yeah,
which is fucking awesome.
I was like,
He's
whoa.
an engineering genius.
Yeah.
That guy's amazing.
Like
really
he's
is.
able to look at something and go, you know what? I can make it better.
Like inboard cantilever suspension in his garage.
Yeah.
Genius.
yeah, it was absolutely wild.
I'm like, I
And
took
it
a
was
tire
not
off
just-
today.
Right?
Not just actually building the free valve components and fitting it to the cylinder head, he had to program too.
Yeah, just absolutely.
Yeah, the, people like that, it's seriously just one of those to where I could just sit down and be like,
I'm just
Not
gonna
that-
hang out here and just sort of
I'm
observe.
not,
Right.
well, not even that, like, I'm not even gonna say a word. Just you talk. Just keep on talking. Like, I just wanna, how? Like, what? Like, what is going on in your head?
Well, that was like when Boosted Boys and PFI Speed were at Gator Nationals with Clay Milligan.
Yeah.
And you saw Brent interacting with the crew chief, and Brent was just sort of sitting back there and just being an absolute sponge. That's how we would be.
Oh yeah.
Be like, yeah,
And have you seen the guy who's done the Cummins swap Mustang?
Yeah. Whistling.
No, it's not Whistling.
Oh, it's Chapman. Chapman, right?
I can't. It's his name is the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
but
he's fucking awesome. I
that
love
thing
him
is
to death.
cool. It's got like the GT 350 bumper on it
It
and
was
everything. and
salvaged. It was a completely totaled out S550 that the front end was just fucking wrecked on.
and he put a Cummins in it.
Yeah, he put a 12 valve Cummins in it, redid the whole front and all that, and it is just fucking.
that's kind of like
nasty.
LZ's Barra powered GT350.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after he caught it on fire.
Oh,
I
and-
caught on fire.
Well,
Yeah.
and by the way, speaking of Barra, the guy who had the Barra FC, remember that?
Yeah.
yeah,
He just posted something on Facebook the other day saying that it's returning because I don't know if you know, but it caught on fire last year, and it was
Maybe
bad.
you shouldn't get a Barra.
It was a bad.
I'm just thinking, like, how many Barras that like we've seen that have caught
yeah,
on fire?
but
stuff
LZ's
like,
car caught on fire before it got the Barra.
I know, but still, just
Yeah, his was
Maybe
like
you
sitting
shouldn't
in the
get a Barra.
garage, caught on fire. But anyway, I guess he salvaged whatever he needed to salvage, and the next RX-7 is coming soon. I'm excited to see that because he never got to actually make a pass. yet.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that happen. That's a really neat swap.
There's another channel. I mean, if you guys have ever seen Engine Masters,
yes,
Oh, I love Engine
there's a
Masters.
guy that comes in from time to time, bald guy named Richard Holdner.
Mhm.
yes.
Well,
Oh,
he's
he's
got
wonderful.
he's got a channel too, and one of the projects that he's starting to do now is what he's dubbing the Ameribara, and that's the Vortec 4.2 straight 6.
Oh!
He's gonna.
I've been waiting for somebody to fuck with one of those, to be honest.
Hot Rod Garage did one. Tony Angelo and Lucky Costa did one last season.
That's a 400.
Well, I think there was an updated one that they got some things better on it, and Holder
That's a
was
horrible engine. Do it with the 4300. Don't do it with the 4.2.
No, do it with a fucking inline six, a 4.0 out of a Jeep. One of those.
Don't do
No, I
it.
want to
No,
see somebody
a
fall with the
4.9.
5-cylinder out of Colorado.
That would be interesting too. I'd be interested to see
I would
that.
love to hear one of those make Audi
Audi.
noises.
I was thinking the same thing. Make Audi noises.
Yeah, because Audi.
You
Oh,
can get those pretty cheap now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a thing floating around.
Apparently, you
YouTube
can
that
get a
was
turbo for $80.
built in the 80s or very early 90s, so it's all 4x3, and you could tell it was copied off of VHS or something like that. But it basically told the story of Audi taking their Quattro stuff and going Trans Am and then IMSA racing. Hans Stuck, Hurley Haywood, all these guys. Walter Rohr was in it. I mean, and it was.
Oh yes, I remember that.
And it showed these cars basically kind of through their teething problems, and then it just showed them. Here's the thing, because I'm the old guy of the bunch, I remember watching Trans Am racing on ABC's Wild World of Sports when I was a teenager. And I remember seeing Trans Am races when Trans Am was really varied as far as the cars. There'd be Corvettes, Camaros, Firebirds, Mustangs, Cougars, Capris,
you had everything.
BMWs, 300ZXs, Jaguars, all kinds of shit. So I remember, I think it was Watkins Glen, and it started raining.
Yeah, it started raining.
They all went on to wets, and everybody was, as they dove in and they were going down through the boot, everybody was going pussyfoot through the corners, and then one of the camera shots was on a right-hand corner, and everybody's going slow, and next thing you know, Hurley motherfucking Haywood and Audi just blasts around the outside of everybody.
And the thing with that is everybody had started to change over to rain tires, and the Audis did not. They stayed on their slicks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I said, and on slick tires, he went just blasting around the outside of everybody. He's like, fuck you guys, I'm out of here.
Yep.
Just sideways, shades down, gangster rap playing.
Just fucking go inside. Yeah, but
if that would be turned into a meme from say 2 years ago, you could just see the black sunglasses drop down. Deal with it.
Thug life.
Oh, go ahead.
No. But
Oh, I had a local car spot that I just remembered. Did I see the most cleanest, unmolested,
most clean.
most clean,
or the cleanest.
Sorry.
You can't do most cleanest. Those don't go together.
Sure they do.
Have
Most
you met us
cleanest.
before? We fuck up words all the time.
Yeah, but surprisingly, like even though I don't speak proper English,
Keep
like,
your there over there.
Hey, keep it there over there, and I'll say over
Keep
there.
there over there.
Yeah.
We be bears.
Keep your there over there.
Continue, sir.
You're most cleanest. I'll allow it.
Let me go. Mid '80s
I heard that.
GTI. Old lady hugged against the steering wheel. Gosh, was this car? And
What color?
White.
Oh yeah, through Beverly Hills.
I saw it over. Actually,
No, you're thinking of the silver one.
Yeah, oh yeah, okay, that's the one.
I saw it over on Norvell Bryant. But
No, it's that silver one.
You're
is
thinking
what
of the
I've
silver
seen,
one.
oh my gosh, was this thing beautiful? And the up here, and I'm just like awing at it. And then she like looked over, and I had my windows down. She looked at me, and she just kind of did that, and then kept driving. And I'm like,
but you probably get that a lot.
yeah, because I'm gawking at this freaking car, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what an awesome.
On the way home today, I passed a C3 Corvette that the paint on it looked like an old school Hot Wheels Spectre Flame.
Oh yes,
Damn.
Red.
really.
It looked like Spectre Flame.
Wow.
It was pretty rad.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, speaking of red, let's go into Chris's thing because I know Chris is dying over there to talk about this. Because
Oh, yeah.
we really do. Do we want to do the next beer since we've had it before? Do you all want it, or do you just want another one of these?
I'm down for it.
Let's
so.
just have another one of those. That other one we've already had. It's also high test.
It's almost at 10%.
Yeah.
What is it?
The Imperial Sunrise.
It's Imperial Sunshine or something like
Blue
that.
Point,
Blue Points.
Imperial Sunshine.
Yeah, we
We've already had. I thought it was over on the.
No.
The human face.
we had
changed-
a bit of a whoopsie. It's because they changed the packaging.
Yeah, they
It's
completely changed the
nothing on
packaging
you
it.
because I would have bought that too because the packaging is completely
No, and
different.
before I bought this, I looked at that and I had it in my hands and I'm like, oh, this sounds, and I'm like,
He's gonna double check real quick just to make
I'm
sure.
like,
Yeah,
wait
I'm
a
gonna-
second.
I know we've had the toasted lager.
Yeah, it's Imperial
I think we had
Sunshine.
the Imperial Sunshine.
Yeah, it's Blue Point Imperial Sunshine.
Sorry, guys, we're just checking something real quick.
Actually, it's easier to read this way.
So,
Thank you. There we
the
go.
topic we were going to talk about, by the way. So, I don't know if you guys follow Jalopnik or not, but there's an author on Jalopnik that has been hunting down...
No, that's
No,
the drive.
Or the
It's
drive, I'm
drive.
sorry, not
Right,
Jalopnik.
because when y'all talked about it,
The one on the
yeah,
yeah,
it,
the
used to be,
left-hand
it
side.
used to be that, now it
They
changed to
changed
that.
it. They changed
Yeah.
it. What
They
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 did.
completely changed the packaging
Okay.
of it.
So that would
Yeah.
be a recent one that we have.
So-
A couple months ago.
The Drive has been following this story for, what, a year now? I think he's been writing about the Big Red for a year.
I think
At least
so.
a few months.
At least a
anyway.
year, I think. Big Red was an experimental turbine-powered tractor-trailer that Ford built for
Auto show.
auto show.
It's about the same time that the Mustang debuted.
Yeah. And it was this really cool, like, differently styled big rig that they had built, and it had a turbine engine. And the whole story goes that it was on display at a car show, and to be on display, they had to drain all the fluids out of it. And then when they sent the driver to pick it up, he didn't know that the fluids were drained. So he tried to start it, and he melted the engine.
The 705, yeah, 705 turbine engine.
Yeah. So Ford sent a truck to go pick it up and trailer it back, basically. That truck broke down. One of their racing teams that they had on contract,
Holman Moody.
Holman Moody, agreed to let the truck be stored because they were nearby. So in the meantime, while this thing's being stored, Ford cuts their contract with this race team, Holman Moody.
They cut their contract with all race teams.
They cut their contract with all the race teams, but in particular this one. And to kind of, smooth things over a little, they said, well, you keep all of the stuff you have. And Holman Moody took that to assume, well, that's Big Red, too. So it stayed at their racing compound for a while, and that's when it vanished.
Yeah, there was a flyer that was basically their big ass garage sale of
I
everything
think
Let's
that
Go.
was 1978.
78.
Yeah, 78, 77.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Sorry, I was inside talking with Seth. So, where did you
I
go
did not
after
have
it?
that blue point
So
here
it
on
gets
the list.
sold
I'll have
to
go
a
back and check
collector.
the episodes to find out when it was.
And from there, it has vanished. Well, last week,
Well, they had written a story that basically were tracking down all the rumors that it had supposedly been bought, it had been restored, but being hidden away in a facility, and all this sort of stuff. There was
But
people
no one knew that if any of those were true.
Yeah,
or
there was all
anything
kinds of
like
rumors
that.
that were it was at one point painted blue, and it was this, and it was that.
yeah, and nobody could confirm anything.
But now it's resurfaced.
It has not technically resurfaced.
It has been confirmed,
It-
however.
it's confirmed, but
The owner wishes to remain completely anonymous.
the
'cause
owner's remaining completely anonymous. There's no location of it. There hasn't been new pictures of it in over 20 years but-
basically they showed pictures of it during the restoration.
that the owner supplied and all that.
but there's been no pictures of it since.
This greatly intrigues the
Yes,
curiosity.
but he has said that once it comes springtime, so I'm guessing it's somewhere where it's a
Soon?
colder thing. That
They were
he's
also
probably
saying-
gonna start taking pictures of it, but he just
But
doesn't
also
want
too,
it
the
to be
original
a thing.
705s were upgraded to an engine called the 707,
Which is a 600
which-
horsepower or 560 horsepower.
which now, I mean, nobody has parts for those, and
No.
probably nobody knows.
Even to work on them.
Yeah, I mean, because when he was restoring the thing, he managed to get a 707, and actually got one of the guys who originally worked on the truck to
Come out
oversee and make sure he was doing everything correctly. But nobody who knew how to do anything with those
Yeah.
things is around now.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you really try to crank that thing up and actually try to move it under its own power?
He
or
said.
not? The
You know,
thing
and-
weighs- the thing weighs.
Well, here, Dan, go.
Well, yeah, I gotta go
really
pee.
quick
That just
because
reminding me of something that might end up being a future topic.
so my thing is the fact that like yes we're having him say like there's no like physical proof that it's thing, but you got everything from this guy, and from everything you're reading, he does own it, yada yada yada.
Funny thing though, down in that last story that was posted that was confirming all this stuff, I was reading some of the comments, and one guy posted that when he was a kid, his dad worked at Holman Moody's shop, and as a kid, he remembers climbing all over that truck.
Oh yeah. But it's one of those to where I understand where he's coming from, because his big thing is he's a private individual.
He doesn't want
He's
people coming
got
by his
this.
house and
He's
trying to
got
look at
this
his truck.
giant fucking wonderful machine that if someone knows about it, either it makes it to where his house becomes a museum, or all this stuff.
He just has randos stopping by.
Yeah,
Hey, can I look at
and
your
like
truck?
what he was saying was, yeah, it's been the last time it was driven was 2000.
Well, the guy still doesn't even have the contact info for the guy. He contacted the guy through his lawyer, and the
Yes.
lawyer basically mediated the
Mediated,
conversation back and forth as a
Yeah.
middleman
So-
to protect the guy's
Yeah,
anonymity.
and they're perfect. Like they're all for that. Like they're
Yeah,
not
I'm
like,
saying,
oh,
I'm
this
totally
guy.
okay
Like
with
they're
this.
they're trying to do it the best way. And but the last time it was driven was in 2000, is what the guy said. And he said, you know what? He's like, it might be dusty. He's like, but
It's in the same condition.
it's in
as
the
it was
same
that we
condition.
restored
He's
it.
like, it might need a tad bit of TLC, but he's like, it would start up, but it's one of those, like he said, would I start it up? Probably not, because if something does happen, it's not
done.
that it's not worthy to start up or in the condition to start up.
Yeah, but
if
where
it
do you-
doesn't,
where do you find
if
another one of
something,
those
if
permits?
anything on it breaks, all the people that worked on it and did all that
They're
stuff,
dead now.
and,
They're
and-
gone.
and- yeah, so it's one of those. You could tell he wants to, but at the same time, it's it's,
What happens if it catches on fire?
you got
Yeah.
you got the 2 feet. Do I shoot myself in the left foot and hey, I want to start it and drive it and something happens, or do I shoot myself in the right foot of I just want it to sit? There's
I could understand that completely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do.
yeah, it's and his,
I would.
his
the other
big
thing
hope is he
that
wants
they did find out is that the 2 tandem trailers that were
Are
with it.
gone. One of them went to a racing team,
Yeah, one of them went to
and
racing
there was
team,
only
they actually-
one picture of it.
and it was in the Bardol colors.
yeah.
The
And
other
then
one
after that-
supposedly went to Bill Straub's racing team.
But they contacted and they
and
said
they
there was
said, no, we
never a
didn't have
trailer
that.
like
But
that.
once those trailers were repainted, they looked like any other trailer of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
They were
Right.
just
But what would
running to
Chris
the
do?
ground.
What would Chris do? Chris would fire that bitch up and drive it around the block. Because I understand it's one of one. I understand that if something breaks inside that engine, you'll never be able to fix it. But if you never start it and never drive it,
You'll never know.
it's pointless.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
true.
It has no inherent value except for the value of it as a machine to enjoy. That's like Trailer Queen show cars. I don't understand that.
You know what? I'm going to take this to another point. It's going to be, I would do the same thing. The reason why, and if it went down in a blaze of glory, it would be like the wonderful, was it the B-24 or B-17?
Oh no, the B-29.
Yeah, the B-29.
Heber.
That was up in the Russian Arctic Circle, and that
It was
has,
in U.S. territory. It was international.
It was.
Yeah.
But that you had these restorers go out and work to get this plane. 'Cause it was, well, you know the story a bit better than me.
Okay, so there's a thing on PBS.
I watched it.
25
Yeah.
I remember it, yeah.
Ah.
It was a long ass time ago. For those of so B-29 Super Fortress or Stratofortress, yeah, Super Fortress. It was the
Stratus Fortress.
B-17 Fortress, B-29 Super Fortress,
Yeah, okay.
B-52 Stratofortress.
That's what it was. 52
So-
Stratus Forces.
The B-29s, that was the airplane that dropped the 2 nuclear bombs on Japan, which pretty much ended World War II.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I was wondering what it was. Okay.
There's also
There's-
only a
there's-
couple of them.
There's the Enola Gay, the one that dropped the bomb, is in the Smithsonian.
Yeah,
I believe there are now 2
running ones.
that are actually flying.
Oh, wow.
I think there may be another one that's being restored or something like that, but there's
That's cool.
2
That are actually
that
flying.
are airworthy in the world.
The entire
So-
world.
25 or 30 years ago,
It was early 80s or mid 80s.
yeah, there was a group that had found one that had landed on the ice, run out of fuel or whatever, and it just been abandoned. End of the war, who gives a shit? We're not going back to it. And it sat there. So these guys found it, and they flew out, figured out what condition the airplane was in, pulled a bunch of pieces off of it, flew home when the winter set in, rehabbed and overhauled all of those parts, flew back out the next spring, got those parts on the airplane,
Spring to
brought
summer.
and then pulled more parts off the airplane, and then during the winter, they did this for several years.
Yeah, because basically you only had like 2.5 months to where you could
You could
actually
get
work.
to
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so-
on it.
So that was the thing. So they kept making trips out there to do this, and they didn't disclose where they had found it. They just knew they had done it. Like they would pull the engines, these big ass Pratt and Whitney radial engines, and the props and hydraulic systems and all this sort of stuff. And the goal was to fly it out. And they had gotten it done.
Engine started up.
They had engine started out. They had done all pre-flight checks. They had done multiple checks, and they were like, okay. They had
fly it out
paved
this
off
day.
a runway area in the ice and everything, and they were
such a scary thing.
Well,
So
they
they
got
were-
everything checked and all that.
So
Everything ran.
they
They're
had
like,
it
we're gonna
completely-
do it.
We're going now, okay? And they had all of their support aircraft they were flying out there with too.
Right.
And they had flown out like all their fuel and everything else. So
Right.
they had their crew.
They were
qualified to fly.
basically trying to get it to the mainland.
Yeah.
So that
And then it was gonna go from there.
But they had the thing. They were deeming it airworthy to at least transport, okay, to ferry the thing back to the U.S.
Right.
Where they would do a more thorough, everything else needed to
We're
be done
just
on the plane.
trying to get it off the
So
ice.
they were taxiing it down towards the end of their makeshift runway, and obviously it's ice. It's not going to be super smooth.
And when
and
they
the thing-
turned,
It was sort of bouncing a little bit.
they
An
turned to go
APU,
onto the runway.
auxiliary power unit in the back,
Basically a generator.
came loose. It burned to the ice.
Burned to the ground. Burned to the
The whole
ground.
airplane just.
Wow.
Everybody made it out. Everybody made it
Nobody
out.
was hurt. Everybody made it out of the airplane. But literally, like the closing end of this whole tale
It's all
was
of
just
them.
watching. Was just
And
all
they're
of
just
them
sitting there
Standing
watching.
back, standing
just
back, watching it
standing
burn.
back and sitting on the other airplanes,
Nothing you
just,
could do.
and just sitting there and watching it burn.
Wow.
Like they're painting to everybody that did all this work for years, and they're like, "Are you mad? Are you upset?" They're like, "Was it a pain in the ass? Yes, and all that." But
We tried.
She didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
They're like,
Wow.
she didn't want to leave. It's
And
like
the name of the
obvious-
airplane was called T-Bird.
Yep, it was. She didn't want to leave, and they
Another
watched
interesting,
it burn to the
another
ground.
kind of
It was
interesting thing.
fuck,
One
but-
of those documentaries I saw of an airplane in the ice.
Oh yeah.
Another crew had
Oh.
gone to a glacier
Glacier Girl.
because a couple of B-29s and some other fighter airplanes have all landed on the ice because they all run out of fuel. They landed on a glacier.
That was the
and then-
P-39, right?
B-20. It was one of them was a B-29 that they were after. I think there was a B-29, B-17, or more, maybe two B-29s or something. There was a 29, I think a 17, and then there were some various other aircraft. It was a whole that was flying, and they all were like running out of fuel, so they all landed on the ice, and then they were rescued, and they left the planes there. Well, over the years on a glacier, glaciers move,
Right.
build and fall, and they sort of topple over. Well, all these airplanes ended up buried
In ice.
like 100 and something feet below the ice.
Oh, fuck.
So they figured out where these airplanes were located at, and they figured out where the 29 was located. That's what they went for. But when they steam tunneled down into the ice and found it, the B-29 had just been crushed by the ice.
Right.
What they also noticed was in the manifest, some of the airplanes that were with it as fighter escorts were P-38 Lightnings.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And
P-38.
those airplanes are fairly sort of flat. You know, that was the one that
Those
had
are the twin engine.
the twin
ones,
engine
but
with the
twin
center
tails.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Okay. With the fork-tailed devil, or the devil with two tails. So they tunneled down and piece by piece brought up a P-38. Literally tunneled down to the ice, disassembled this airplane and brought it up piece by piece, and then brought it back to the U.S. and completely overhauled the airplane and restored it. And
That's
they renamed it Glacier Girl. And I
There's
saw
only
the whole. I
four,
saw the
Yeah,
whole.
there's only 4 of them, I think, flying right now.
I think there's more P-38s than that.
Um,
But I saw this whole documentary. Now, fast forward about 5 years after I'd watched this documentary, I went to the EAA Sun and Fun fly-in at Lakeland.
yeah.
And as we were walking in the gate, I heard, warbirds over it, because there's all kinds of experimental aircraft,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of warbirds and everything else that show up at this thing. So we saw some planes flying overhead, and it was a P-51 Mustang, a P-38 Lightning, and a P-40 Warhawk
Mm-hmm.
flying in formation, almost like a missing man formation, and then they came around, and then they just buzzed over the field, and they set off pyrotechnics and everything else. So this is all happening while we were going in. By the time we got in and kind of did everything we were doing, and we got over to the tarmac area where the warbirds were parked,
Mm-hmm.
I'm rolling. I was using my wheelchair because the place is huge to go around. I wasn't crushing it around that. So I'm rolling up and looking between lanes, and I see tail boom of a P-38 Lightning. I'm like, I've never seen one of these in person before. I've been to a lot of air shows. I've never seen one of these before.
That's the only one I've never seen
Okay, so
before.
I've never seen one of these before. And I'm rolling over, and as I'm kind of rolling under the wings of other airplanes below, I see ropes around. I'm like, wow, this must be
It
something
must be special, right? Yeah.
I roll up and I see the nose art. It's Glacier Girl.
That's fucking
It is
cool.
Glacier Girl. So the plane that I had seen video footage of this thing being brought up from the ice
You got
and
to
then
see it in
completely
person.
restored
That's
and,
so
And the
neat.
fact that it fucking flew.
Yeah.
and that turns out that was the P-38 that was flying as
When
we
you
were going
came
in the
in.
gate.
But
Well-
it goes. Oh, sorry.
No,
Sorry.
you're good.
sorry, go, go.
No, because I'm no. Go.
No, it goes to like that's what I would do is I would
Yeah.
drive it.
I would fire it up,
And
drive
you know
it.
what? If
burns
I
up,
get
burns
if I
up.
get at least hopefully away from the garage and all that because I know they built a nice garage for it because that fucking thing. Can we?
That thing is 13. It's like 13 and a half feet tall.
It's
gigantic.
one of those. So you
Okay,
have
when the engine sits in there,
the bottom of the floor. So I'm short, but the dude is I think like 5'10". The dude that
yeah, he's a couple
designed
inches
that.
shorter than me and Dan are.
So he's up here. He's
The flat
standing
floor of the cab
in the engine
Is
bay.
it
it's probably
above
about the
the
height
height
of my head, or maybe an inch above my head if I'm
And
standing.
the dude's standing there,
Wild.
and like with the turbine engine, the truck's not on jacks or anything like that. It's completely
big.
flat on his tires, and he's standing there in the engine bay with like 2 inches above his head, and that's the
and
actual
the guy in that
floor.
and the guy in that picture is the guy
That
who
did the-
worked on that truck when Ford was developing it.
That's so
He was the basically the caretaker of it. So
Yeah.
John Stobble,
yeah.
Stobble, STA, STABAL, I think.
Something like
Stobble.
Well, what I was thinking was all this trailer talk might bring us into another.
Hold on, I got one other
Yeah,
thing I
no,
want to mention
yeah.
before we go to bring a trailer.
Yeah.
So, Toyota. That the car, the GT86 that they co-produced with Subaru, they co-designed the car with Subaru.
FRS, BRZ.
They are upset that their Subaru-derived sports car
Feels like a
feels
Subaru.
too much like a Subaru.
Speaking of Toyota,
Like,
so
that's like going, the new Supra feels too much like a BMW.
Oh, I'm kind of getting to the Supra on this. So, you guys have seen the video and the pictures of the pretty much near production Nissan Z.
Yeah.
The silver one.
Oh,
Oh, plenty of it. Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. So they're saying this
I
thing's
like
probably
it.
going to be twin turbo V6, 400 horsepower, 6-speed manual, or a 9-speed automatic.
the one in the picture was an automatic.
Was it
And you know what?
automatic?
The interior looked really,
It's
really
very
good.
I
Here's
like
the thing. They're saying that the base price of that car, now, if that car is 80% of everything we're reading right
Oh,
now,
I know what you're about to.
if this
Yep.
car is 75 to 80% of everything we're reading,
I'd pay $40,000 for it.
well, they're saying that
No,
the base price
let's-
of this car is going to be like 35 grand.
Yeah.
And change. Okay?
Is that going to be a
That's-
4-cylinder option, or is it going to be?
No, that's the twin turbo
that's twin turbo
V6.
V6, a base model twin turbo
Right.
V6. Now, they're going to have some other option packs, like a sports pack,
Obviously,
this and that.
yeah.
Or
But
a 35
35
pack or
though?
touring pack. Here's the thing. That's $8,000 less than a 4-cylinder Supra.
It is.
That's
That's
$16,000 less than a
Than a V6 Supra.
a straight 6 Supra.
Or straight six,
Hold on.
sorry.
So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said
sorry.
what? 35,000?
35,000.
is what they're saying.
Yeah.
So when you think about it,
The 4-cylinder
a-
the
well,
4-cylinder Supra's
well,
$43,000.
not even that. A base, completely base, 5.0 Mustang is 39 to 40.
But and then here's the opposite
36.
turn.
Yeah, but
36.
about the same.
Well,
If that's true, the
but
Focus might be going bye-bye.
Well, the big but, the big but, and I'll play devil's advocate here. Dealer markups.
You know what? Here's the thing. I think Nissan's going to build enough of these things that it's going to be like the C8 Corvette. When they first come out, there'll be markups, but then there'll be a glut
Then
up
they'll
on the
go
lots.
away.
They'll be like, okay, we got to move metal.
Well,
up
that'd be
and
cool.
down.
So I like it.
So here's the thing.
I
if that
dig
car
it.
is 75 to 80% of what we're reading about now,
It's definitely
And
worth
it looks-
$35,000.
90% as good as what that pre-production or production picture that we saw, the video
is this
saw.
going where I think it's going?
And you can get one for 35 grand.
Is this
Well,
going
let's
right?
say let's say under 40.
Hold on,
let's say
hold on.
under
I, wanna-
40.
I think I
just,
know where this is going, and I want to hear it.
Goodbye, Super. It was nice to know you.
Yeah. Hello.
Because Nissan is going to build the fuck out of these things. They're going to sell the,
The
fuck
fuck
out of these things.
exactly.
And they're basically going to take this modified 373
And it'll be the new
bitch slap
240
Toyota
SX.
all
The
over.
other beautiful part about it is, as far as I've read, there are two options on that car.
automatic
there's-
manual.
a performance option
And a touring
and a
option.
comfort option.
Mhm.
Okay, and you can get both. So you can get the full performance package and the comfort package. Each package costs $5,000. So the full boat of that car will be $45,000
$45,000.
Could still be under 50 for.
for a super luxurious car with leather, heated, air-conditioned seats, and all the
And
packages.
in
inside
today's
of it.
market, that's
And it's
perfect.
got the performance suspension and brakes underneath
At
it.
that,
It's
I
perfect.
can tell you right now. Brian, so what color are you doing yours in?
Okay, if they offer a metallic gold like my 1975 280Z was, I might just be out of the Mustang.
I was going to say, we might be seeing a Nissan rolling up
No,
the
I might
Pisces
be-
one night.
I might-
Hey, there's four of them, I'm just saying.
At
Might
this
be out of
point,
my-
I think all of us might be doing that.
Seriously.
Like,
If they have
really
one
is-
that I can get it in metallic gold with a black interior, might be out of the Mustang.
No, it's, to be honest, dead serious. I love. I know people are saying that they hate it and all that. I fucking love the look
I mean,
of
I
it.
know it's not.
I do
It's
too.
No,
not
they look fantastic.
I know it's not.
They
I know
look
it's
great.
not an all-new car. I know it's an evolution of the 370Z, and I'm okay with that.
But-
Yeah, me too.
But
for sure.
it's because they did it finally right. That is what going from the 350 to what the three. This is what the 370 should have been when it.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
a glossed up
370
350.
370 looked like a weird Decatura Bazazoku anime car.
This is what it should have been. This is what it should have been, and
Well,
you know what?
The 370 looked like the anime version of the 350.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But it's one of
was
those.
like the blistering concept.
I really, really like it, and yeah, if it's anything like that, I'd go into more debt for it.
Although I will say, at $45,000, unpopular opinion, and I know I'm gonna get glares from all three of you for this.
Probably not, because I'm the
If
guy
I
who
were gonna
believes
spend
that-
$45,000 on a sports car like
Now, are
that,
you talking brand new?
if we're going brand new, $45,000, I'm buying a Scat Pack Challenger.
Fair enough.
Not a sports car.
It's a yacht.
It's a muscle car. It's only a yacht muscle car.
I'm on
but
board with you, Chris. I'm on board with
Scat Pack Challengers are
you. You could
awesome.
even get a Scat Pack with a wide body package for that.
Yeah.
So, but I think
I mean, when you're kind of looking at what you get for your dollar, he's not entirely wrong.
no, not at all.
No.
Here, and there's only one reason. for that.
485 naturally
The
aspirated
only
horsepower.
reason for that is because that twin turbo V6 is not going to sound like that
No,
396 V8
Yeah.
does.
Low V6 will sound like a V8.
Exactly. Nothing will sound like that V8. And praise be unto him, V8.
I know, but I
I
know,
The-
Dan,
the
you're
370
trying to leave, so I'm
no,
not trying to get you to leave.
no. The problem is I have
The,
to.
the,
That's the problem.
the new Z will probably be faster and
I
sound
gotta
and
feed this
handle
fucking
better.
kitten.
So,
Unfortunately, she don't get out of work
All
till
right,
10.
bring a trailer.
He's got to eat every
Bring a
3
trailer.
fucking hours. A little hungry ball of fur.
I haven't seen it, so we're gonna have to do something with the.
Yeah, I haven't either.
there we go.
I was teased by Brian earlier.
I can't spin
So-
a computer. You guys got to come over here.
I'm
So
coming.
here's the thing. I'll step back and let you guys look at it. And I'm calling this the best small pickup truck ever come
Is
made.
this because of that TikTok I sent you?
No.
Oh,
It's so.
Okay, so this is a 1988 Toyota 5-speed pickup, standard cab, standard bed, two-wheel drive. This truck has been in the same family since new.
okay. Oh,
And this
okay.
thing comes with a stack of records all the way from the 90s.
Ah!
Wow.
Now, it ain't perfect.
Look at that.
Okay, you know, there's some clear coat issues, there's some scratches on the roof. This
What?
thing,
It's a
been-
single
been
cab.
used-
It's a single cab short bed.
There's no
Toyota.
rust in it. This thing has been used as a truck, but it's been taken care of.
You're saying it's a 10-footer.
It might even be a 5-footer.
Close
Yeah.
to a 5-footer.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! Look at that.
No, that's a 5-footer.
Look at that thing.
That's a 10-foot
Okay.
picture there. That thing would even look just as good 5 feet away.
Okay,
That's-
so this 1988 Toyota pickup is finished in metallic gray over gray interior and powered by a 2.4-liter inline 4, which is a 22RE. I think
Yes.
at that point. Uh,
The maintenance book.
equipment includes air conditioning, Pioneer CD stereo, bed liner, chrome finished
Oh,
wheels,
it's
and
clean.
bumpers.
No rust.
This truck was purchased by the sellers. Actually, it was purchased by the grandfather, and now the father owns it, and the son is the one selling it for them.
Okay.
Little corrosion right there in that corner.
Very minor though.
Like
But that's-
brush it
but-
off
but that's-
and touch it up with some.
What state was
Yeah,
this? What state was this in?
Look at the
So
the
this
grip
thing
rail.
is in.
Look at that crimp rail.
This is in Canyon Country, California.
Oh, that's why. That's why. Yeah.
Mild roofage there.
174,000.
Little
Yeah.
dent on the roof.
174,000 on it.
miles.
Wow.
So 2.4 liter, 5-speed manual, air conditioning, CD player.
That thing's got another
Manufacturer's
400,000
literature,
miles on it.
service records, and it is being sold by the private. But look at the underside of that
Yeah,
thing,
well,
right?
yeah, but all that little bit of rust, that's just...
Wipe it
might-
off with Pepsi.
It might have been by the ocean a couple times for a couple deliveries. That's what it is.
Yeah, some batteries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this thing has got the typical 80s Toyota bench seat. There's a couple of cracks on the dash. It's
But-
not a showpiece, but this is a used truck that was
Yeah, and I can see
well
the clear
taken
coat-ish,
care of.
but it's still clean.
Yeah, and it's
Dude, I don't even
I
know where to
think with
begin on
some
that.
wet sanding, that clear coat would pick up.
I don't even know where to begin on that.
You
though.
know,
You
hold
run
on,
over that
hold on.
with some 2000 grit and then some
Polishing.
3000.
I'm
and
about
you get it with
to-
a buffer, it would clear up.
I'm
It
about
would.
to blow y'all's mind.
honestly, I don't even think I would go that harsh with it.
No.
I think I would honestly take some McGuire.
You already got a number? Do you already have a number and you're about to blow our mind with it?
No. I'm about to blow Chris away with this.
So anyway, this thing has a plastic bed liner, rear mud flaps. The windshield was replaced in 2020. The
Cracks
antenna
in
has
the
been
dash.
removed. Seller notes a crack in the left front turn signal, a hole in the exhaust tip, and dents and scratches in the roof and rear bumper, along with baby clear coat on the roof and hood. It's a 1988 truck that's been used as a truck.
Yeah.
And like even the puppy visors, 2 years after those trucks rolled off the assembly line, they
that's
look
what
just
they
like
did.
that. So
To me, this is the JDM small truck version of the dad truck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough.
Absolutely.
Fair
to
enough.
the point where, like,
AC works, been converted to 134A.
dad truck. Everything like that is one of those where, yes, the dad truck has a couple little dents,
And-
scratches
and the
there,
ad
it's got a
has-
feeling, but all underneath of it, completely
Yeah,
different.
and the
like,
ad itself, I mean, there's
No, you're
over
fine.
there's
No,
over
I'm not
90
hurting you.
pictures.
That
of the
truck
ad.
scared me.
Are
the
we
other day,
are we
by the way.
reserve or no?
I don't know if this was a reserve truck or not, but it's sold.
It's really hard to put a number on that.
I got one. I'm gonna say 69.
Well, the thing is like I want to shoot some number like that, but then I want to throw bringer trailer tax, but I know bringer trailer tax doesn't always apply.
That's why I said-
7,000.
You fucking cunt.
You just prices right today.
I almost said 71, but I said
Because I was going to say
69.
6,900, but I wanted to give him a buffer.
I don't know. I'm thinking.
Don't strain yourself.
I'm not.
You smell something burning?
9.6.
I was gonna say, get those synapses firing.
9.6.
$7,977.
Right on.
The other truck that I looked at, but it did not
that's a
meet
good
its
price for
reserve,
that.
was literally Marty McFly's dream truck.
Oh.
An 88 SR5 4x4 black wheels, roll bar, casing
Oh,
highlighted.
oh my
Even the license
God.
plate said BTTF 4x4,
Oh!
but it didn't meet its reserve, so I couldn't use it.
Before, have you seen the Nissan truck driving around Inverness and that? The silver quad cab with the roll bar. It almost looks just like Marty McFly's truck, just a Nissan and it's silver. Has the same roll bar, the two old school, full on old, they're not new, old school KC lights with the covers on them that are
Look like
full
a
of
smiley
smiley faces and that.
Oh,
And it's an
nice.
older guy that drives it, and he drives it every single day. Every single day.
I've not seen it.
And
That's
it's,
awesome.
It's got maybe an inch and a half body lift on it, not a full suspension lift, a body lift, and just maybe 2-inch bigger tires. But it is fucking.
I don't know. Are you sure it's got a
beautiful.
body lift? Because you could literally see the frame under those
Yeah.
trucks all day long.
No.
Without a body lift.
It's
You can see the pucks on there.
yeah, but
Well,
it's
hell
just
yeah.
slightly, and it is literally. It looks like, hey, I'm in 1988, and my daddy
Come at me,
has
bro.
money.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, I got that.
Well, on that positive note,
That positive enough you're leaving us.
I think we done.
I got to. I'm
I
sorry.
think we done.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks on the next episode of Pints and Pistons with Car Talk and Beer.
Hey, I'm just excited that we have the band back together.
Join in next time on Top Gear for more plane-related topics.